Good morning, everyone. I request you all to kindly check your audio sets and turn on your cameras, please. Yes, APS Rakmuthi, kindly turn on your camera. Check your audio sets also.
Are we audible?
Yes, you are audible. Thank you so much. APS Raiwala, kindly turn on your camera.
Our camera is already turned on.
Okay, now it's visible. Okay, thank you. APS Rakmuthi, kindly check your audio set. Am I audible to you all? APS Rakmuthi? APS Rakmuthi, am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
I request APS Rakmuthi to kindly check your audio sets.
Audible?
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes, APS Rakmuthi, speak something. Am I audible?
Yes. Are we audible?
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. And now I request our judges to kindly check your audio sets.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Am I audible?
Thank you. Animesh, sir, kindly check your audio set.
Yeah, good morning. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Mrs. Shrimishta, kindly turn on your camera. I request Shrimishta ma'am to kindly turn on the camera. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, kindly check your audio set.
I think I just spoke. You said I'm audible.
Ma'am, your voice is not clear.
Is it any better now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
We start within 2 minutes. On the path of achievement where dreams take flight, walk with a purpose, embrace the light. Challenges may come, obstacles may appear, but with determination and ethical values, success is near. A very good morning to esteemed judges, enthusiastic participants, worthy teacher in charges, and the lovely spectators. I, Shreya Tamwal, take this opportunity on behalf of the Secretary of the event, Mr. Sanjeev Kumar, Principal APS Udhumpur, to welcome you on Day 2 of prestigious AWWA Northern Command Ethics Poll 2024. On this momentous occasion, we have gathered here today in the spirit of unity, respect, and understanding for being a part of the AWWA Northern Command Ethics Poll, a celebration of ethics, values, and critical thinking. Ethics is a code of values which guide our choices, actions, and determine the purpose and course of our lives. Today, we are present here to witness the incredible minds that have converged from pan-India to engage in meaningful discourse. I extend my gratitude to Mrs. Asha Suchendra, Regional President, AWWA Northern Command, for giving us this opportunity to host this prestigious event. An ethics book is rooted in principle that the students have the ability and will to positively influence not only their lives but also the world around them, and their voices must be heard, and that's the main essence of ethics goal. Without further ado, let's commence with the proceedings. Before we move ahead, it's time to introduce our esteemed panel of judges. As it is rightly said and quoted by Warren Bennis, leadership is the capacity to translate a vision into reality. I take the opportunity to extend a warm welcome to our jury members. Our jury for the day consists of influential individuals who have achieved several laurels in the field of education. Apart from their daily jobs, these distinguished personalities have managed to offer immense value to the society by following the passion to serve the nation. Let's take a moment to acknowledge and praise their invaluable contributions. Starting with Mrs. Mandvi Tripathi. Meet our esteemed jury member who holds a remarkable academic profile, currently serving as the principal of Lucknow International Public School. With an illustrious career spanning 25 years in education, she has held key leadership roles in renowned institutions such as G.D. Goenka and Dr. Virendra Sabru Educational Foundation before assuming her current position. She is not only the principal of Lucknow Premier International School, but also an advisory member of the Sports Academy Association of India and an active participant in the Education Quality Foundation of India. Recognized for her scholarly contributions, she has numerous research papers published in esteemed national and international journals. Her dedication to education has earned her prestigious accolades like the Avantika Atal Bihari Vajpayee Samman and the title of the most dynamic principal by the International United Educationist Fraternity and Aesthetics International. Her dedication extends beyond administrative roles. She has been honored for her contributions to corporate social responsibility by the Pehel Foundation and has showcased her creative talents through the direction of the acclaimed short film Agle Janam Mohe Bitya Hi Kijiyo, featured at the Agra. With a diverse background in education, training, and leadership, She has organized and led numerous skill development initiatives, CBSE trainings, and mentorship programs, including her selection for the prestigious CBSE Square Mentorship Program. As a respected figure in education, she has conducted over 500 workshops and served as a keynote speaker at prestigious conferences. We are honored to have you as our jury member, ma'am. Ma'am, it will be our pleasure if you'll share words of wisdom with us. Over to you, ma'am.
Indeed, it's a proud privilege being a
Ma'am, I think your internet connection is slow. Kindly check your connection.
this Northern Command.
Ma'am, your voice is not clear.
I thank them for calling me here and giving me an opportunity.
Manjvi, ma'am.
Yeah. Is it better now?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Hello. I'm audible.
Ma'am, your voice is not clear enough. Network bandwidth is low.
Hello. Let me. Is it better now?
Yes, ma'am. It's better.
Better?
Yes, ma'am.
So yes, ma'am, no, if you
Ma'am, you're
and
not.
I thank the
Manjvi, ma'am, you are still not.
thank maybe I have I've just checked it on, but that is why
Ma'am, so sorry, but I think there is some network issue at your end.
very good
Ma'am, kindly rejoin.
thought that
Rejoin.
competition is being organized. Let me join from another connection then. Please
Yes,
give me
ma'am.
time.
Yes.
I think you can take on to the other judge, please.
Okay,
I'm
ma'am.
better now.
Ma'am, admit. Okay. We'll move to the next judge. Our next judge for today is Miss Shrimishta Basu, a beacon of hope for children with special needs. Ms. Shrimishta Basu, an ex-principal of Asha Army School in Lucknow, is a chemical engineer and a special educator by profession. She holds a myriad of qualifications, including a master's degree in psychology and management. Throughout her career, she has received numerous awards, including the Chief of Army Staff Commendation and the Lokmat Samman awarded by the Honorable Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, Shri Yogi Adityanath. Under her leadership, Asha School has awarded the Best School of Uttar Pradesh in the disability sector. She has also been awarded the AWWA Excellence Award from the Northern Command, Central Command, Eastern Command, as well as the National AWWA Award of Excellence. She has been nominated as the Hindustan Times Woman of the Year by the Hindustan Times. Ms. Shrimishta Basu is regularly invited by Akashvani to give expert talk on creating awareness among disability. Ma'am, you're truly a source of inspiration for all of us. Ma'am, would you be willing to impart some valuable strategies to our young, eager
तुमको
participants?
नेटवर्क का क्या कनेक्शन आ रहा है? नेटवर्क का बहुत इश्यू आ रहा है, जस्ट चेक.
Thank you so much for your kind words. So a very good morning to all of you. And it is indeed an honor to be here today. And at the outset, I would like to thank Jaya ma'am and the entire team of Northern Command Ethics Bowl for making me a part of this magnificent journey. And I've actually savored the delightful discussions and debates of the Northern Command students in 2023 as well. And your quest for excellence just does not cease to amaze me. So I'm really looking forward to another session, an enthralling session between the two teams present here today. And for that, I would like to wish both the teams all the very best. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for gracing us with your words. Next, in the panel of judges, we have with us Colonel Animesh Watts, in whose presence number of incomplete souls feels complete. Colonel Dr. Animesh Watts, Senior Advisory Surgeon and Prosthetic Surgeon, currently serving as Professor in Department of Surgery, AFMC, Pune. He worked as Assistant Professor in Department of Surgery, IGICH, Kabul, Afghanistan, and also worked closely on mine blast injuries and lower limb amputees in the war-ravaged nation. He has taken fellowship in prosthetic surgery at All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi, entailing aspects of upper and lower limb amputees, trauma, and orthopedic reconstruction and rehabilitation of the amputees. He is also in charge of Artificial Limb Center at Army Base Hospital, Delhi, Kent. Colonel Animesh has also introduced the concept of imitate post-op prosthesis to help facilitate early rehabilitations for amputees. Currently, he is actively involved in training of undergraduate and postgraduate students in Sciences of Surgery at AFMC, Pune. He has also represented Government of India as part of Indian delegation for establishment of Artificial Limb Center in Kabul, Afghanistan. Sir, we are truly privileged to have you amongst us. Sir, would you like to offer some insightful ideas to our participants?
Good morning to all of you. Thank you, the Northern Command Ethics Bowl team, to have me here. I was here last year as well, and it was such a fantastic experience, such a great experience to learn from our junior colleagues, our friends. I'm looking forward to again learning some from them and get some good insights in the fantastic topics which have been selected for today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for such inspiring words. Now, I again request Mrs. Mandvi, ma'am. It will be our pleasure if you share words of wisdom with our students.
Oh, thank you so much. And I welcome all the participants, my co-judges, to this wonderful morning. And I think being a part of AWWA Northern Command's Ethics Bowl is a wonderful experience altogether. Because as we say that without ethics, man has no future. And I'm very
Ma'am, kindly check your connection again.
Okay. हमारे भी तक एक वो है मीटिंग है
Now it's fine.
नॉर्दर्न कमांड का वो चल रहा है
Hello, am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, may I, do you want me to do it once more?
Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Yeah. Sure. So I welcome all the students, my co-judges to this wonderful morning. It was wonderful being a part of this competition because I've earlier been a part of it. And without ethics, man has no future. And I thank AWWA Northern Command for giving these children and young minds a very positive food for thought that they have come and thought over such ethical issues. These ethical dilemmas will help them in future also take they will be better decision makers, I guess. Wishing them all the luck for today's competition and looking forward to a wonderful deliberation as well. Thank you so much for making me a part of it.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your words and inspiring our young learners today. Now, I welcome the timer judge for today's match, Mrs. Inderpal Kaur.
Very good morning, everyone. All the very best to the participants. May you rise and conquer this day with some ethical values. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We are truly overwhelmed and overjoyed at the presence of our esteemed jury members. Esteemed judges, we are sure that your perspectives on the subjects that we will discuss today shall certainly be insightful. They will not only set direction for our students, but will help all of us who have joined today. A very warm welcome to you all. As it is rightly said, and I quote, the difference between moral dilemmas and the ethical ones is that in moral issues, the choice is between the right and wrong. But in ethics, the choice is between two rights. On this note, let's commence today's match. Now, for the first session of Day 2, Match 3 of Ethics Poll, we have participants from the team of APS Raiwala and the team APS Rakmuthi. So, now I request the participants from both the teams to introduce themselves one by one. Let's begin with team APS Raiwala. I request all the participants to introduce themselves.
आभासीय पटल पर उपस्थित सभी महानुभावों को मेरा सादर प्रणाम। मेरा नाम वंशिका है और मैं एपीएस रायवाला की प्रथम वक्ता हूँ।
A very bright morning to everyone present here today. I'm Srishti of class 12 and I'm speaker 2 from APS Raiwala. सुप्रभात, मेरा नाम सृष्टि है, मैं APS Raiwala की द्वितीय वक्ता हूँ।
Top of the morning, everyone. I'm Ashish Parwar from APS Raiwala and I'm sports team. Thank you.
Good morning to everyone. Piyush Rawat, researcher 2 from APS.
Morning, everyone. This is Aspen Will of class 10. I'm researcher 1 of APS Raiwala.
Thank you, APS Raiwala. I welcome you all. Now it's time for our second team, APS Rakmuthi. I request you all to introduce yourself. APS Rakmuthi.
Good morning, everyone. I am Abhishi Gupta from class 10. I am the first speaker of Team APS Rakmuthi.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Vanshika from APS
APS Rakmuthi, your voice is not clear.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Vanshika from APS Rakmuthi and I'm the second speaker of my team. Good morning, everyone. I am Vaidini Patel from class 9 and I am the third speaker of my team.
Warm greetings, everyone. I am Harshita, speaker 4 from APS Rakmuthi.
Good morning, everyone. I am Saurabh Pava from class 10th D.
Good morning, everyone. I am Ridhima Chaudhary from class 10th T and I am the second researcher from Team APS Rakmuthi.
Thank you, APS Rakmuthi. I warmly welcome both the teams on board. As it is rightly said, courage is what it takes to stand up and speak. Courage is what it takes to stand up and speak. Courage is also what it takes to sit down and listen. I'm sure that we will witness insightful and vivacious discussions from both the teams today. Ladies and gentlemen, let's gear up for the striking beginning of today's event. Now, the presenter and the responder teams will be chosen through fortune wheel. The names of both the teams are written on the wheel as you can see. Team A and Team B, let's spin the wheel of fortune. So here we have APS Raiwala as the presenter team and likewise APS Rakmuthi as the responder team. I request the panel of judges to kindly note APS Raiwala is the presenter team and APS Rakmuthi is the responder T. To keep things in order, we need to set some rules for everything in life. And same goes for the competition as well. With this notion in our mind, let me briefly explain the rules. Though the important guidelines and rules have been shared with everyone, but still I would request all the participants to listen to the rules very carefully. Here is the course of action. Each team will be given 8 minutes to present, including answering the ethical question put up by the moderator at the end of the case study. A reminder bell will be given after 6 minutes, and the final bell will be given after 8 minutes to sum up the case. After that, 1 mark will be deducted for every minute, excluding the time limit. The other team will be given 3 to 4 minutes to confer and 5 minutes to comment. A bell will be rung at the end of 5 minutes. The other team is also required to ask a maximum of 2 questions to the presenter team post their commentary. The presenter team will be given 3 to 4 minutes to confer and come back with their answers. No cross questioning by the other team is allowed. The presenter team is required to answer the questions put up by the other team within 5 minutes. The team can decide whether all members will speak or only one member speaks. A reminder bell will be rung after 5 minutes. After this, judges will ask 1 question each. They are allowed to cross-question the presented team members. The presenter team will get 3 to 4 minutes to confer and get back with their answers. Once the next team starts, the same format as the one mentioned above will be repeated. The moderator closes the event by finally announcing the score for both the teams and declaring the winner. I hope the rules are clear to you all. Remember, dear participants, that it is not solely about winning a competition, but about creating lasting bonds and nurturing an environment where ethical considerations lead us towards the more compassionate society. The questions before us will not only challenge our moral values, but they will also cultivate empathy, cooperation, and critical thinking. Now, without further delay, it's time to start with today's match. Now, we'll start with the round 1 of our today's match. Team A, APS Raiwala. Now, I'll read your case study. The title of your case study is Environmental Conservation versus Economic Development. In a rural community, a proposed construction project threatens to destroy a protected wildlife habitat to make way for a new shopping mall and residential complex. Proponents argue that the development will stimulate economic growth and create jobs, while conservationists advocate for preserving the ecosystem's biodiversity and natural beauty. Now, your questions are, how should policymakers weigh the competing interests of economic development and environmental conservation in decision-making process? What ethical principles should guide development projects to minimize their ecological impact and promote sustainable growth? Team A, APS Raiwala, I hope the question is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Now you will be given 8 minutes to present your views. Good luck to all the participants. May the spirit of ethics guide our way. And your 8 minutes starts now.
वन्य जीवों पर टिका है प्रकृति का संतुलन। वन्य जीवों पर टिका है प्रकृति का संतुलन और मार्ग खोले प्रगति का करके इनका संरक्षण। महोदय, कल्पना कीजिए कि आप किसी घर में रह रहे हैं और कोई बाहरी आकर आपको आपके घर से बेदखल करते नहीं, अब आपके पास रहने के लिए कोई सुरक्षित ठिकाना भी नहीं है। ऐसे में आप क्या करेंगे? महोदय, या तो आप उस बाहरी व्यक्ति से लड़ेंगे या फिर कहीं और चले जाएंगे। वर्तमान में वन्य जीवों के प्रायवास में मानव के बढ़ते हस्तक्षेप के कारण वन्य जीवों का जीवन जंजाल हो गया है और तो और वन्य जीव और मानव संघर्ष में भी इजाफा हुआ है। महोदय, प्रकृति उत्विकृति चयनम कुरु। एक समय था जब जंगली जानवरों की संख्या काफी अधिक, परंतु कृषि, औद्योगिक और अन्य विकास गतिविधियों के परिणाम स्वरूप कई पशु प्रजातियां विलुप्त होने के कगार पर हैं। महोदय, इस तमस से भरे भविष्य से बचने के लिए हमारा कुछ महत्वपूर्ण कदम उठाना आवश्यक है, जैसे वन्य जीवों के प्राकृतिक आवास क्षेत्रों का सीमांकन करना, प्रदूषण और प्राकृतिक खतरों से रक्षा करना, अति प्रतिबंधित प्रजातियों की सुरक्षा के लिए विशेष व्यवस्था करना, घरेलू और अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर वन्यजीव संरक्षण का सामान्य समझ पैदा करना आदि। महोदय, हमें भूलना नहीं चाहिए कि विकास कभी भी विनाश से नहीं होता। ग्रामीण क्षेत्र में बड़े बड़े उपभोक्ता केंद्र बनाने का क्या औचित्य हो सकता है जब इसके लिए एक महत्वपूर्ण प्राकृतिक आवास को नष्ट करना पड़े? क्या यह विकास वास्तव में स्थानीय समुदाय की जरूरतों को पूरा करेगा या केवल आर्थिक लाभ और रोजगार तक ही सीमित रहेगा? महोदय, ऐसी परियोजनाएं प्राकृतिक संतुलन को बिगाड़ सकती हैं और जैव विविधता को गंभीर खतरे में डाल सकती हैं। इस संदर्भ में विकास और पर्यावरण संरक्षण के बीच संतुलन बनाना अत्यंत महत्वपूर्ण है।
Policymakers should carefully balance the need for economic growth and the importance of preserving the environment. They can do so by implementing measures like studying the environmental impact by looking at how the construction can affect the wildlife, vegetation, water, and air. This also includes taking opinions from environmental experts. They must take measures that do not cause any kind of harm to the species living in the area. In addition to the policymakers should add economic evaluation of pros and cons by considering the benefits like new jobs and more money for the community, and thinking about the cost such as losing the natural beauty and potential future income from tourism. An initiative measure is talking to everyone involved by holding meetings with local residents, environmentalists, and indigenous people. This is to make sure that everyone's voices are heard and their concerns are clear. Looking for ways to modify the project, like preserving certain areas, using green building practices, or investing in community benefits. The businessmen and women must promise to not throw unnecessary garbage in the air. They should consider the future impact of the project on both the economy and the environment, ensuring that decisions made today won't harm the community in the long run. In my opinion, focusing on activities that can potentially harm a species raises ethical concerns. Aren't we humans being too selfish and neglecting the Mother Earth? I don't think that we need to build a shopping complex in protected areas. Not every place is meant to have huge buildings for show. These places should have a peaceful environment. We must hear the opinions of the locals and think about what hardship they may face. We should make space for the voices of animals. We cannot just take away every possible piece of land away from them. Where do these animals go? It is an unfavorable step to build malls and buildings on areas that are home to any kind of species, endangered or not. If you think that economy is more important than the environment, then try counting your money while holding your breath. सुंदरम वनम तत्र विहासे नित्यम पश्यन्ति ये पिनाः सर्वजीवमायुः प्राणिनं सर्वे परिश्रमापधानं सिताश्रिते सन्ति सर्वदा सहायते। महोदय, मेरा मानना यह है कि प्राकृतिक विविधता और प्राकृतिक सौंदर्य को संरक्षित करना मानव के लिए एक अत्यंत महत्वपूर्ण है, क्योंकि ये हमारे जीवन का एक महत्वपूर्ण हिस्सा है। प्राकृतिक विविधता न केवल भिन्न प्रकार के जीवों की विविधता प्रदान करते हैं, बल्कि हमें आध्यात्मिक और मानसिक शांति भी प्रदान करते हैं। इसलिए प्राकृतिक विविधता और प्राकृतिक सौंदर्य की रक्षा करना सक्रिय रूप से प्राकृतिक सौंदर्य और प्राकृतिक विविधता की सुरक्षा करना सक्रिय रूप से के लिए काम करना आवश्यक है। भविष्य की पीढ़ियों की आवश्यकता को खतरे में डाले बिना वर्तमान की आवश्यकता को पूरा करना प्रकृति की ममता में दायित्व है। महोदय, हमें वो भूल नहीं दोहरानी चाहिए जो चीन ने सन 1958 में की थी, गौरैया को मारकर, जिनका अंजाम उन्होंने 1960 में भुगता था, जब पारिस्थितिकी तंत्र असंतुलित हुआ एवं और दशा यह हो गई कि भूख से मरते हुए लोग अपनों की लाशों पर आहार करने लगे।
Economic growth is the cancer that is killing the ecosystem of Earth. You cannot have unlimited growth on a limited system. Already, we have destroyed a considerable amount of life support of this planet through destruction of flora and fauna, multiple construction works, and the release of poison that leaves every species hanging on the verge of extinction. Construction industry is essential to shaping cities and infrastructures of today's quickly changing world. Despite this development, it is important to acknowledge and address building activities' effects on environment and its delicate ecosystem. Protection of endangered species from development is one area that needs more effective solutions. As policymakers, sector must strike a balance between the completion of project and the preserving at-risk species. Explore the value of protecting animals and learn how construction can ensure a sustainable future. Policymakers could include wildlife corridors in construction to support conservation initiatives. It will maintain foraging, breeding, and supporting of fragmented habitats. Corridors allow animals to move freely from one patch of habitat to another patch of habitat without breaking down into human barriers, which will cause potential harm to both animals and humans. Economy without ecology means the human nature and relationship without knowing the balance between humankind and the natural world. Thank you.
Thank you, Team A. Those were some thought-provoking arguments presented by you all. Very well done. A good discussion increases the dimensions of everyone who takes part. Now, Team B, you have 3 to 4 minutes to confer, after which you will present your summary and will pose 1 or 2 questions to Team A. Kindly note you have to pose both the questions together, and your conferring time starts now.
Ma'am, you're not audible.
Okay. Team B, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Team B, your time is up. Now be ready to present your comments and pose your question to Team A. You will be given 5 minutes to do so. And your time starts now.
Those were such thought-provoking and enlightening ideas. I agree with the viewpoint of my friends from APS Raivala. Now, I would be honored to do this to present a poem by Rabindranath Tagore, which completely is in line with all the thought-provoking thoughts that were put up by my friends. From the renowned poet Rabindranath Tagore, we draw upon his words where he says that the same stream of life that runs through my veins night and day, that runs through the joy through the dust of earth, is numberless blades of grass and breaks into tumultuous waves of leaves and flowers. This completely tells that how each point of our life is concerned with nature and environment, and how are we supposed to conserve it, making a balance, a clear balance, and outweighing all the consequences that we are being offered with. I would like to tell Ridhima to please pose her questions. I would like to point a statement as speaker now.
Your voice is not clear. Your voice is not clear.
I would like to point a statement by Speaker 1. You said that it's possible to balance both economic development and environment conservation. But according to the UN report about Sustainable Development Goals 14 and 15, even if everyone in the world is trying to find alternatives and suggesting new ways to balance both of them, there has been no noticeable change. But your speech contradicts this point. What are your views on that?
Done? Okay.
There's another question that we're supposed to pose.
Yes.
There is a demand.
Your voice is not clear.
Is it clear now? Are we audible?
Yes, now you're audible.
There is another question that we'd like to point out. There's a scenario that we'd like to pose, which says that, for example, environment activists propose an alternative, that sustainable development plan that would have a lower economic impact but would preserve the wildlife habitat. So basically, the activists, the environmental activists, are providing you an alternative that they would present a sustainable development plan for you, wherein there would be a lower economic impact along with creating the development. Now, the plan would require a longer implementation time. That is, there would be a longer time that would have to be invested therein, and some higher initial costs going to be noted. There would be higher initial costs and more time that you would have to impose in there. And the thing is that you would get long-term ecological and economic benefits. My question regarding this scenario is, should policymakers favor immediate economic gains over long-term sustainable benefits? What decision-making frameworks can be applied to evaluate the trade-offs between short-term and long-term outcomes? And how can policymakers ensure fair representation of all the stakeholders in the given scenario?
I hope that our questions were clear.
Thank you, Team B. Now, Team A, APS Raiwala, have you heard the question carefully? Yes.
Can the second question be repeated again?
Okay. I request APS Rakmuthi to repeat the second question.
Yeah, sure. So the second question
APS Rakmuthi. Yes.
Are we audible?
Your voice is not clear enough.
Are we audible now?
Yes.
The question is regarding a scenario that we are posing to you. It's regarding the same topic that we've discussed so far. So the question is that, for example, the environment activists are giving you a plan and they're saying that they're offering a sustainable developmental plan wherein there is a initial high cost that is needed and a long investment time that you'll have to put into that sustainable development plan in this particular scenario. And they're saying that no matter if it is taking a lot of time, a lot of money in the start, but it is going to offer you a higher economic and ecological benefit in the future. Regarding this scenario, the question that we're putting up to you is that should policymakers favor immediate economic gains over long-term sustainable benefits? What decision-making frameworks can be applied to evaluate the trade-offs between short-term and long-term outcomes? And how can you as a policymaker ensure fair representation of all the stakeholders, be it the economic benefits and at the same time making sure that our environment is being conserved? I hope that now we're clear.
Okay, Team A, APS Raiwala, is it clear now? Okay. Team A, you have 3 to 4 minutes to prepare your answer and your conferring time starts now. Okay, Team A, your time is up. Now, you will get 5 minutes for giving your answer. And your 5 minutes starts now.
Thank you for the insightful question. Your question raises important ethical concerns, and I believe that it's essential to prioritize endangered species preservation as the construction industry transforms the planet. Policymakers can establish a sustainable future where projects are in harmony with animal protection by acknowledging the need for a compromise and encouraging cooperative efforts. Other alternative methods are site selection. Explore alternative locations for the shopping mall and residential complex that don't encroach and protected wildlife habitats. This could involve conducting thorough site assessments to identify areas with less ecological impact. Secondly, mixed-use development. Implement a mixed-use development plan that integrates the shopping mall and residential complexes with the existing infrastructure, minimizing the need for new construction on ecologically sensitive land. Third, green building practices. Incorporate green building practices and design principles into the construction project to minimize environmental impact and enhance energy efficiency. About a midway solution, I would like to say, dear friend, I already mentioned about wildlife corridors. That wildlife corridors are places for foraging, breeding, and supporting fragmented types of species, where animals can roam around freely from one patch to another without breaking down into human barriers. Now, I would like to Vanshika to conclude. मित्र आपका प्रश्न विचारोत्तेजक है और मुझे प्रशंसा है कि आपने ये सवाल किया और मैं बस इतना ही कहना चाहूंगी कि रहीमन पानी राखी बिन पानी सब सून पानी गए न उबरे मोती मानुष चून
Here is prioritizing economic development over environmental conservation creates a complex ethical dilemma. Economic development is essential for growth and progress of society, but it often comes at a cost to the environment. Ignoring the environmental consequences of economic development can lead to long-term negative impacts on the environment, people, and future generations. Focusing solely on economic development often leads to the exploitation of natural resources, pollution, deforestation, and habitat destruction. Future generations have a right to inherit a healthy and sustainable planet, and prioritizing short-term economic gains at the expense of environment raises questions about the integrational justice. Thank you.
That's all from your side? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Team A. Very well articulated comments. Now it's time for the judges to pose their questions. I request our first jury member, Mrs. Manvi Tripathi ma'am, to pose a question to Team A.
Right. And what I have to say is that all these children have very well deliberated the entire thing. But then the Living Planet report, that is 2022, that basically says it is a comprehensive study of trends in global biodiversity and health of the planet. And the WWF publication reveals that an average decline of 69% in the species population since 1970. So this is a big number. Now, when it comes to students like you, I would like to raise a question that what are the ethical dilemmas or prioritizing economic development over environmental concerns? What ethical dilemmas will you face on prioritizing economic development over environmental concerns? And you have to discuss some strategies which could be adopted to eliminate this kind of a conflict. So that's my basic question.
Thank you, ma'am. Team A,
If
Abhinav.
not understood, I could repeat the question once more. Any issues?
APS Ramala, have you heard the question carefully? Is it clear to you?
Yes, ma'am, it is clear.
Okay. Now you will be given 3 to 4 minutes to confer. After that, you will present your answer. And your conferring time starts now.
अक्सा ये कर लो, इसका प्रिंट दे दो मुझे।
Team A, your time is up. Now kindly present your answer. Team A, APS Raiwala.
जी महोदय, मैम आपके बैकग्राउंड से आवाज आ रही है। मैम किसी बैकग्राउंड से आवाज आ रही है तो सुनाई ढंग से दे नहीं रहा है। प्रॉब्लम हो रही है नेटवर्क में। महोदय, आपका प्रश्न अत्यंत सराहनीय है। जब हम लिविंग प्लैनेट रिपोर्ट 2022 के लक्ष्यों को प्राप्त करेंगे, तभी 2030 तक प्रस्तावित लक्ष्य प्राप्त कर पाएंगे। एक विविधता वाले सुरक्षा का प्रावधान इस रिपोर्ट में नहीं है, जिसे खोजना जरूरी है। पुनर्चक्रण, ऊर्जा की बचत, प्लास्टिक का न्यूनतम उपयोग और पर्यावरण के अनुरूप उत्पादों का अधिक से अधिक उपयोग, पर्यावरण संरक्षण के लिए शिक्षा और जागरूकता आदि ऐसे जरूरी कार्य है जिनके कारण हम जो प्रस्तावित लक्ष्य है उनको प्राप्त कर पाएंगे।
An initiative measure is talking to everyone involved, like the indigenous people, environmentalists, and local residents. We must hear the opinions of the locals and the hardship they may face in the future. Launching awareness programs to educate the public about the impact of the project on both the environment and the economy. Implementing strong environmental regulations to minimize the negative effect of economic activities on the environment, and also we need to promote sustainable development practices such as ecosystem restoration. Now passing the mic to Asha.
Thank you, ma'am. I would like to express my gratitude for the opportunity to respond to your question. It allows us to further respond to ethical complexities of the topic. Prioritizing economic development over ecological preservation. Preservation often presents the ethical dilemma of short-term gains and long-term gain sustainability. This decision may lead to environmental degradation, loss of biodiversity, and harm to ecosystems, impacting future generations. I would like to include some alternatives too, like habitat restoration. Allocate resources towards habitat restoration efforts in other areas to offset the ecological damage caused by the construction projects. This could involve reforestation, wetland restoration, or creating new wildlife forests. Compromise and collaboration. Facilitate dialogue and collaboration between proponents of economic development and conservations to find a compromise solution that balances both interests. This could involve negotiating land use agreements or exploring creative earning options. At last, I would like to say environmental protection and economic development are not in conflict. Environmental protection is not a burden but a source for innovation. It can increase competition, create jobs, and lift the economy. Thank you.
Right? APS Raiwala, that's all from your side?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, APS Raiwala. I request Manvi ma'am to kindly ask for any query. Ma'am, do you have any query? Ma'am, you are not audible.
No, not as such. They are very well answered. So thank you so much. No, not as such.
Okay. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Now, it's
Thank
time for our second judge, Ms. Shrimishta Basu ma'am, to pose her question. Ma'am, kindly pose your question.
Thank you so much. Before I pose my question to you, I would like to congratulate the organizers for selecting such a contemporary and relevant topic for discussion today, and which requires the students to balance environmental ethics with developmental ethics. So, Madhvi ma'am has already put in a very important question. So, I'm going to go a little on a tangent. So, I want to bring to your notice the EKC hypothesis, which is also known as the environmental Kuznets curve, which suggests that as an economy grows, environmental degradation increases initially. That you can understand because of the increase in pollution, due to increase in the economic activities, weak regulation laws in the developmental countries, and limited technology and infrastructure. Polluting fuels are used, such as coal, but after reaching a certain level of income of per capita, this uh, the trend of it reverses, and further economic growth leads to environmental improvement due to increased environmental awareness, stronger regulations, efficient production process, and this is what we have seen for developed nations as the US. So my question to you is, how do we reach the other side of the curve, similar to the developed nations such as the US, without first moving through the stage of an economic growth, a burst of economic growth at the cost of the environment? So can you propose a plan that we can balance out the economic growth? We should not neglect it, and at the same time, not have a degradation to reach the other side of the curve?
Thank you, ma'am. APS Raiwala, are you ready? Have you heard the question carefully?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Only the researchers are allowed to use the laptop and mobile phones. No participant will use mobile phone or laptops. Okay. Now you will get 4 minutes to confer, and your conferring time starts now.
Other persons who are there in the
Students are also requested not to discuss anything with any other person present in the hall or class. You are not supposed to discuss anything with any other person. Team A, your time is up. Now kindly present your answer. APS Raiwala.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for proposing the question. We are honored to answer. The assumptions that pollution is the price of progress, or that we must choose between jobs and the environment, have long limited our creative thinking about initiative solutions that can be good for the environment, the workers, and the healthy economy. Balancing environmental protection with economic development is a complex challenge, but according to my ethical concerns, it is possible to foster a mutually beneficial relationship between the two. Firstly, we can embrace and enforce robust environmental regulations that set clear standards for industries to mitigate their environmental impact. Secondly, we must encourage the use of clean technologies and innovations to reduce resource consumption, minimize consumption and pollution, and also foster public awareness and engagement in environmental issues. I would like to pass on to Vanshika. महोदय, स्थानीय समुदाय की सहभागिता और हरित रोजगार यानी ऐसे रोजगार जो प्रकृति और पर्यावरण संरक्षण प्रकृति के अनुरूप हो, पर्यावरण संरक्षण के लिए ठोस कानून और समाज के प्रत्येक वर्ग को शिक्षित और जागरूक करना कुछ कदम हो सकते हैं, परंतु महोदय पर्यावरण एक दिन में संरक्षित नहीं किया जा सकता, परंतु निरंतर प्रयासरत रहना चाहिए। कबीरदास जी ने कहा है, धीरे धीरे रे मना, धीरे सब कुछ होए, माली सींचे 100 घड़ा, ऋतु आए फल होए। अब मैं अपने सहपाठी शिष्य से आग्रह करती हूँ कि वह अपने विचार प्रस्तुत करें।
My viewpoint is, instead of developing new land, consider repurposing existing buildings or brownfield sites for the shopping malls and complexes. Adaptive reuse can revitalize underutilized areas while minimizing habitat destruction and preserving green spaces. Instead of replacing the wildlife habitat, we should consider developing nature-based attractions, guided tours, and sustainable logging options that showcase the region's ecological assets with generating economic benefits for the community. Community-based planning is also an initiative measure, as communication is the solvent for all the problems. Engaging local residents, businessmen, and conservation groups in a collaborative planning processes to identify shared goals and priorities for the area's development. By involving stakeholders from the outset, policymakers can ensure that the development project reflects the values and aspirations of the community while balancing economic and environmental consideration. Thank you. That's all from my side.
Thank you, APS Raiwala. Now I request Shrimishta Basu ma'am to kindly ask for any query.
I think that was indeed a very good attempt at answering a very tough dilemma. So I think it was well attempted. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Now it's time for our third jury member, Colonel Animesh Vats, to pose his question. So kindly pose your question to Team A, APS Raiwala.
Yeah, good morning to you, Pace Raiwala. Am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So someone said that the world has enough for everyone's need, but not enough for everyone's greed, right? So what we need is possibly availability of more infrastructure projects in the rural areas. Infrastructure would possibly mean electricity, roads, telecommunications, railways, irrigation projects, rather than the shopping malls and residential complexes, howsoever beautiful they might appear to be. Okay. So what I want to understand is your perspective about how do you imagine the prevention of rapid urbanization of villages rather than the prevention of the infrastructure projects reaching our villages. Am I clear or should I repeat?
Thank you, sir. APS Raiwala, have you heard the question? Okay. So you will get 3 to 4 minutes to confer, and your conferring time starts now. APS Traiwala, your time is up. Kindly present your answer. APS Traiwala, kindly present.
Yes, ma'am. महोदय, आपका प्रश्न विचारोत्तेजक है, परंतु मैंने अपने आधार भाषण में इस विचार को रखा था कि बड़े-बड़े मॉल्स की जगह ग्रामीण क्षेत्र को माइक्रो फाइनेंस की सुविधा प्राप्त कराई जाए। इसके लिए कुछ कदम हम यह उठा सकते हैं कि पारंपरिक कृषि को बढ़ावा देकर गांव में ही बाजार प्रदान किया जाए और सहकारी समितियां बनाई जाएं, अच्छी स्वास्थ्य सेवा प्रदान करी जाए, कृषि, हस्तशिल्प और पारंपरिक कौशलों को बढ़ावा दिया जाए। मैं ये कहना चाहूंगी कि आओ मिलकर गांव को सजाए, हर दिल में विकास की एक जोत जगाए, सपनों के गांव सुनहरे हो जाए कि और हमारे सपनों के गांव सुनहरे हो और हमारे आज से ये प्रयास से होगा।
Preventing the urbanization of villages requires a multi-phased approach that addresses various factors driving urban migration. Some strategies can be investing in rural infrastructure such as roads, electricity, hospitals, and schools. We should promote their natural beauty rather than building huge images that may not be needed. I think it would be more ethical to build up schools and hospitals that are more needed by the locals rather than building up malls and residential complexes. We can implement policies that promote balanced regional development by decentralizing economic activities and investments away from urban centers towards rural development. Now I'll be passing the mic to Ashu.
I would like to quote William Wordsworth's views in his celebrated poem, "The world is too much with us." He laments the withering connection between humankind and nature. He has condemned the rapid industrialization and urbanization. It is only through the nature we can connect to the spiritual realm. It goes like, the material world, economic growth, our jobs, our innumerable financial obligations controls our lives to an unhealthy degree. We are always rushing from one thing to the next. We earn money one day just to spend it the next. The result of this is that we have destroyed a vital part of our humanity. We have lost the ability to connect with and find tranquility in nature. Our lives have nothing to do with the rhythms of the natural world. As a result, those rhythms have no emotional impact on us. Humankind has lost the ability to appreciate, celebrate, and be soothed by nature. I believe our biggest issue is the same biggest issue that the whole world is facing, and that is habitat destruction. What is a fish without a river? What is a bird without a tree to nest in? What is an Endangered Species Act without an enforcement mechanism to ensure their habitat is protected? It is nothing. Thank you.
Leveraging natural and cultural aspects. Rural areas can develop sustainable tourism initiatives that generate income and employment while preserving local heritage and ecosystem. This can include ecotourism and community-based tourism. Thank you. That's all from my side.
Thank you, team APS Traiwala. Very well answered. Now I request Colonel Animesh Vath sir to kindly pose your query.
Very brilliantly answered. I'm very happy. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I must say, both the teams are thoroughly prepared. We had some very compelling ideas from both the teams in the first round. As it is rightly said, the true grandeur of humanity is in moral elevation, sustained, enlightened, and decorated by the intellect of man. This event is an excellent opportunity for all of us to learn and broaden our perspectives, as ethics is knowing the difference between what you have the right to do and what is right to do. On this note, let's begin with the round 2 of our today's match. Now it's time for Team B, APS Rakmuthi. APS Rakmuthi, are you all ready? Now, I will read your case study. The title of your case study is Intellectual Property Unplugged. Generative AI programs are not able to only create text, but many can also create images based on user prompts. AI image programs are able to do this because they have viewed hundreds of thousands of paintings and photographs created by human artists that have been paired with descriptive tags. In doing so, they identify commonalities between these inputs, attach them to particular input tags, and thereby learns to produce an original output. The emergence of these visual AI programs has created new dilemmas for copyright law and intellectual property rights more broadly. Copyright law aims to protect an individual's intellectual creations as opposed to their physical property like jewelry or a car. Though specific rules and their application vary from jurisdiction to jurisdiction, in general, copyright law protects original, often but not exclusively artistic creations, such as novels, paintings, songs, and poetry. The purpose of copyright has historically been twofold. First, it protects the creator from having their work used in context that they do not approve of. For example, in the campaign of a politician they do not support. Second, it stops individuals from financially profiting from work they did not create. For example, selling prints of another person's painting without their permission. However, generative AI programs may undermine the long-standing reasoning. Though AI images are technically original creations, their author is not a human being. As a result, some argue that AI images cannot receive copyright protections because such an entity does not have preferences for the use of its creations, nor does it receive any benefit by being financially compensated for the use. Others argue that the creator of an AI program should benefit from the artworks generated by that program. Like the work that an artist put into creating a painting, the work that programmers put into writing code and testing the program entitles them to control over the artwork it generates and financial compensation when those artworks are used. Still, others argue that the artist whose work the AI program was trained on should be given rights to any artwork the program generates. Without their original creations, the AI would have no inputs on which it could train. Finally, there are those who argue that the individual who comes up with and inputs the text prompt that produces the artwork should receive copyright protections. Without their work to come up with these phrases, the AI would have no text inputs to turn into visual artworks. Now your questions are, first question, do artworks produced by an AI deserve copyright protection? Second question is, who, if anyone, should have control over the artwork once it is produced? The creator of the AI, the artist whose work the AI learned from, or the individual whose verbal prompt generated the piece? If control is to be shared between multiple parties, how would that function? And the third question is, how should society respond to the rapid advances in technology which invite revision to existing laws, practices, etc.? Team B, I hope the words of the case study are clear enough.
Yes, ma'am.
Muthi, are you ready? Okay. So you will be given 8 minutes to present your answer, and your 8 minutes starts now. Over to you, APS Rakmuthi.
Ma'am, are you audible?
Yes, you are audible.
In the ever-evolving tapestry of human creativity, the brushstrokes of innovation have painted a new contender on the canvas of intellectual property, the generative AI. As we stand at the crossroads of art and algorithm, a groundbreaking legal and ethical challenge is before us. This is not merely a debate about lines of code and pixels on the screen. It is a profound inquiry into the essence of authorship and ingenuity of human creativity. From Google's free to OpenAI GPT-3, the generative AI is pushing the boundaries of creativity. But the dilemma we face is as intricate as it is unprecedented. The question is how we can express the boundaries of creativity and ownership. Can the spark of a machine hold the candle to the flame of human creativity? And if
APS
so,
Rakmuthi of
who stands to this fire? Those who built the heart, those who provided the killing, or those who struck the match. Still, we must agree that it is the human artist who navigates through the complexities of emotions and thoughts. He induces the consciousness that resonates with our own. As we embrace the tools of technology, let us not forget the hands that wield them. For it is through human endeavor that art finds its truest expression and its most enduring home. That's all from my side. Now my friend Vanshika will continue the presentation.
I really appreciate the viewpoints of Abish as Buddhi Yantra Prajayate Naya Margena Palit Dharmacharya Vinayam Sadam Sukham Janapya. If we talk about the laws related to AI, the adoption of AI is much faster than the laws framed regarding it. Brazil has passed a bill that profounds the legal framework regarding artificial intelligence. In June 2022, Canada came up with the Digital Charter Implementation Act in the House of Commons. Presently, India does not have any legislature that exercise in the field of AI and the development of AI and machine learning tools. As Kuhn believes, the laws or regulations should be as innovative as the technologies it is going to replicate. A draft national strategy was published by the Ministry of Electronics and IT in 2020, demanding for the policy development in the frameworks in the field of artificial intelligence. Also, Sector 43A and 72A of Information Technology Act, it disables and prevents or measures on the punishments on the disclosure of data privacy and in the context of breach lawful context. That all over to Vaidehi.
Thank you, Vanshika. Daniel Gervais has rightly said that if a human and a machine work together and we can totally separate their work, then copyright is only going to focus on the human part. This threshold was proven by a test in September 2022 when the US Copyright Office granted registration to a comic novel called Zaria on the Reef. It was generated using a text-to-image generator that was called as Midjourney. The text was authored by Christina Castanova, but the images were generated by Midjourney. The office registered copyright protection to only the texts that were authored by her, but not the visuals as they were simply based off the internet. A culmination of various human and artworks cannot be considered deserving of copyright. To bring creators and artists to the same level, there should be a label or a short description that should be present on the AI artwork that specifies the AI tool developer, the prompt giver, and the sources from where the AI has originated its artwork, that they should share a copyright protection and they should have equal recognition. Over to Ashwita.
As we reflect on the intricate dynamics of the intellectual property rights in the world of generative AI, becomes clear.
Voice is not clear.
Is it clear now?
Yes.
As we reflect on the intricate dynamics of intellectual property rights in the age of generative AI, it becomes clear that our traditional frameworks need nuanced adaptations. This ethical quandrum called to my mind the wisdom of ancient Indian philosophy, the Bhagavad Gita, that says, Yogatsa Guru Karma, meaning, established in yoga, do the right to perform your duty. In this context, it suggests that all the stakeholders, AI developers, and the end users must act with a sense of duty towards the fair and just practices, ensuring that contributions are rightly given to the people who actually deserve them. The debate whether the AI copyright protection should be given to the people or not
held on the core principles of creativity and ownership. Rabindranath Tagore once said, the highest education is not something which is giving you mere information and facts. It's not merely about rote learning. It's not merely about just reading books. It's about something which actually lifts you up and something which actually makes you feel in harmony.
The 2 minutes are remaining.
Just as in Mahabharata, where Krishna guides but never fights Arjuna's battles, AI is always supposed to be the enabler and not the creator. This is what humans should always keep in mind if we do not want AI to be the supreme power in the future that counts for us. Also, as we stand on the brink of the unprecedented technological advancements, today it is incumbent for us to revisit and revise the existing laws by fostering a legal ecosystem that respects both human intellect and the AI, which whatever it's providing us, by making a legal ecosystem which is respecting both human creativity and the efficiency of computers and AI. By this, we pave the way for innovation that is ethically sound and universally beneficial. Equitable recognition and hence, equitable recognition and compensation should extend to the programmers and original artists whose works fuel the AI's learning. It is rightly said by Oscar that imagination is the root of the creation. This is the human creation, this is the human imagination, which is actually underpinning even the most sophisticated AI outputs of today.
Your voice is still not clear. Your words are not clear enough. And you are not even in the frame. Kindly align yourself in the frame.
By Oscar, it's rightly said that imagination is the root of all the creation. And it is this human imagination which is underpinning even the most sophisticated AI outputs. That's it from our side, and I hope that we've answered all the post questions very properly, and all of my friends have put up all kind of answers to the questions. First up, who should be there who should be actually accountable and who should be getting that particular ownership that we've talked about as well, and what kind of steps should be taken. That is also being considered in the conclusion. Thank you.
Thank you, team, for such thought-provoking ideas. I must say, very well articulated comments. Now, team A, APS Raiwala, you have 3 to 4 minutes to confer, after which you will present your summary and will pose 2 or 1 questions to team B. Kindly note you have to pose both the questions in one go. Over to you, team APS Raiwala, and your conferring time starts now. Ready to present your comments and pose your question to Team B. You will be given 5 minutes to do so, and your time starts now.
प्रिय मित्र, मैं आपके दृष्टिकोण की सराहना करती हूँ। हालांकि मैं इस मामले पर अपने कुछ विचार प्रस्तुत करना चाहूंगी। कृत्रिम बुद्धिमत्ता ने नए समय की धारा में सोच को परिवर्तित किया है, जहां संभावनाएं असीमित है। महोदय, हाल के वर्षों में न केवल पाठ बल्कि चित्र बनाने में सक्षम जनरेटिव कृत्रिम बुद्धिमत्ता प्रोग्राम के उद्भव ने रचनात्मक प्रक्रिया में क्रांति ला दी है। चित्रों और तस्वीरों के विशाल डेटा सेट द्वारा संचालित ये प्रोग्राम वर्णनात्मक टैग के साथ मिलकर उपयोगकर्ता के संकेतों के आधार पर मूल दृश्य कलाकृतियां बनाने की क्षमता रखते हैं। हालांकि इस नवाचार के साथ कॉपीराइट कानून और बौद्धिक संपदा अधिकारों के लिए कई नई चुनौतियां आती हैं। ये कलाकृतियां तकनीकी रूप से मूल रचनाएं हैं, परंतु उनके लेखक मनुष्य नहीं है, बल्कि मौजूदा कार्यों पर प्रशिक्षित एल्गोरिदम है। महोदय, जब हम इन जटिल कानूनी और नैतिक विचारों को समझते हैं, तो नवाचार को बढ़ावा देने और रचनाकारों के अधिकारों की रक्षा के बीच संतुलन बनाना आवश्यक है।
That was an impressive presentation conducted by the participants of PP. I would like to add in my views as well, as I understand that it's not possible to add every possible point in the statement. The issue of whether AI-generated artwork deserves copyright protection is complex and hinges on the interpretation of copyright law, which traditionally protects human creations. Since copyright law aims to stimulate and protect human creativity, the question arises: can a non-human entity create something deserving of such protection? Currently, copyright laws in most jurisdictions do not recognize AI as an author. For instances, the US Copyright Office has explicitly stated that works created by non-human entities are not eligible for copyright protection. This suggests that AI-generated artwork lacking human authorship do not deserve copyright protection under existing framework. Now I'll be passing the mic to Srishti.
I appreciate your perspectives on the copyright of AI. However, I would like to add a few points here. Human being for any form of artwork relies on imagination. Needless to say that this imagination is 100% based on the real world, where there are innumerous sources and resources to inspire human mind. Here I propose the first question. When does AI transition from being a mere tool to becoming an author? The recent US court opinion emphasized that copyright law exists to safeguard the creative expression and original works produced by human beings. Without human creativity, there would be no basis for copyright protection. But acknowledge the challenge of defining how much human input qualifies someone as an author of AI-generated work. How do we balance the essence of human-driven creativity with the increasing attention of human involvement in AI-generated content? My second question is, some argue that AI images lack preferences or financial interests, so they shouldn't receive copyright protection. Others believe that the creators of AI programs should benefit from the artworks generated. My question to you is, should programmers be compensated similarly to artists for their creative work in developing AI algorithms? Thank you.
Thank you, APS Raiwala. Team B, APS Rakmochi, are you ready? You have 4 minutes to prepare your answer, and your conferring time starts now.
Ma'am,
Yes. Ma'am, stop.
we're not clear with the first question that has been put up.
Okay. I request APS Raiwala to repeat the first question. Kindly repeat the first question.
When does AI transition from being a mere tool to becoming an author? The recent US court opinion emphasized that copyright law exists to safeguard the creative expression and original works produced by human beings. Without human creativity, there would be no basis for copyright protection, but acknowledged the challenge of defining how much human input qualifies someone as an author of AI-generated work. How do we balance the essence of human-driven creativity with the increasing attenuation of human involvement in AI-generated content? Is it clear now?
Thank you, APS Traiwala. APS Rakmuthi, is it clear now? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now you will get 4 minutes to confer and your conferring time starts now. Okay, team B, your time is up. Now you will get 5 minutes to present your answer. And your 5 minutes starts now.
First up, it was an intriguing question and a very thought-provoking one. Well, we have tried to put up all this in our presentation already, but elucidating further, the first question, as you had stated, that how much share should be given and how AI actually transitions from being AI to the author. So first up, as we've already discussed, that we have tried to put up the idea of collective authorization. Herein, all the people who are involved, like for example, we've started with the writer, we've started with the person who actually made it, the artist, and then after we had the person who actually did it, the prompter, and then everything that was put up. So we tried to put up the idea of collective authorization as in how each person is going to get the share of everything that has been put up. So as a, or there is an example that I would like to pose. For example, that we see a clay, like this AI thing is akin to how a clay model is being made. For example, if a clay model is being made, so the person who is actually making up the clay model is someone who is shaping the clay into that particular thing. And prompter here is the person who is breathing life into that thing. So everybody is getting an equal share, and actually what society needs to acknowledge is the efforts of both the people, and actually the importance of both the people and their thing into making the creation and culminating the creation at the end, and how all of them are putting up efforts and how all of them should be getting a share of what they have posed up to the society. This was our answer to the first question. Now for second, I would like to call.
For the second question, I would like to tell you about joint authorship. In this authorship, both the person who has generated that AI program and the end user and the person who is the source of the information is getting the authorship. Also, the manufacturer who has manufactured that particular AI machine has developed a source to collect all the information. And the prompt who had generated the new ideas based on its fiction and imagination is the one who has created those new ideas and should be given the copyright claims. Not only him, but also the manufacturer who has developed the source to collect that information to help others. Also the person who had managed to type the question or the particular information should be also given the copyright claims. That's all about our answer.
Thank you, team APS Rakmuthi. Very well answered. Now it's time for the judges to pose their question. I request our first jury member, Mrs. Mandvi Tripathi ma'am, to pose her question to team B.
Okay, am I audible, madam?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay, okay, right. So now let's come up to the question. All the students are very well aware of the AI generated crimes as well, whether it comes to deep fake videos, data poisoning, or tricking face recognition. But then one of the cases that has been posed to you, like has been given as a case study. My first part of the question stands with that is, do you really consider that such a case into a criminal offense? Why or why not? Then second part of the question says, what is the ethical dilemma which is there when it comes to granting IPR to the AI tools? That is intellectual property rights. What is the ethical dilemma which is there when it comes to granting IPR to AI tools? The second part of the question. And the first is that, do you consider the case study that has been given to you as one of the criminal offenses? If yes, why? Or if no, then why not? So that's my question.
Team B, are you ready? APS Rakmuthi, are you ready? Okay. Now you will be given 4 minutes to confer. After that, you will present your answer. And your conferring time starts now.
आज तो हमारा रखमुखी का केस जेल
Team B, your time is up. Kindly present your answer.
First up, ma'am, that was a greatly stimulating question. And the first question that you posed that was, is it really kind of a criminal offense that we consider the kind of case study that we've been given here? So indeed, according to our viewpoints, we do consider it as a criminal offense if there is not a particularly permission that has been taken up from the original source. If they've not taken proper permission from the original source and have been using it without that particular thing, so it is indeed a criminal offense. And to add, in many foreign countries, it has been considered as a criminal offense already, and there have been proper legislations that have been put up there as well. But unfortunately, in India, there have been no as such legislations regarding such data piracy, and there is no such legislations made yet. But still, such laws are still to be made in order to make sure that such AI generated things are not yet put up, and that there's no kind of data piracy.
Yes, as mentioned below that we have seen the cases of Brazil and Canada, also China. We have seen that there are many laws, but in India, there is not particular any law that exercise over the development of artificial intelligence. The ethical dilemmas that are concerned with artificial intelligence are data privacy, transparency, deepfake, and also the cases of data biasness. As the CEO of Tesla, Elon Musk already said that AI is far more dangerous than nukes. We have also seen many cases of deepfakes, and as in India previously, a case went very viral that was of deepfake that was criminally offense by the data biasness and the negative impacts of sharing of wrong data, which was of Rashmika Mandana. That's all we wanted to answer. I hope we are clear.
B, Manvi ma'am, if you have any query, you can ask.
No, I think they have tried and put in their brains to as much as required. So it's absolutely fine. We'll go ahead with the other question.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Now it's time for our second judge, Mr. Mishta Basu ma'am, to pose her question. Ma'am, kindly pose your question to Team B.
So I must congratulate both the teams for doing extensive research on their given topics and giving comprehensive presentation today. So, there is a plagiarism law which protects us from copying even ideas, texts in parts or full, without giving due credit. Now, what AI is doing is churning out countless pieces of so-called art in the mere minutes, which a human artist might take years to produce a masterpiece. It creates dilution of originality in the creative space. So it's like someone is taking and stealing your ideas, your creation, and you can't do anything about it. So art is a product of human expression, experience, emotion that the machine lacks. And it lacks the emotional depth and the nuances that the human artists bring to their work. So human create an reflection about their life. And what we can very easily say is the AI is art without passion. So my question to you is, do you really think that splicing art to get the data to create new work can be called true art? And if you think it's not, do you think that you just mentioned in your answer to the previous question that what AI is doing and not giving due credits, we do not have strong laws against them. We are not able to protect our artists. It is basically stripping them of their economic, financial gains or their income. And maybe in some time, the human artist will become obsolete. So do you think the AI generated art should be banned? So my first question was, do you think that splicing art to get the data to create new work can be called true art in real sense? And do you think that the AI generated art should be banned, at least in our country, till we come up with stronger laws to protect our artists?
Thank you, ma'am, for your question. APS Rakmuthi, now you will get 4 minutes to confer, and your conferring time starts now. Simbi, your time is up. Kindly present your answer. APS Rakmuthi, kindly present your answer.
First, indeed, it was a very much intriguing and stimulating question. To start off with the answer, we've been first posed up with a question that whether should it be banned and why, what kind of problems it is making up to the artists today. As according to the researchers, if AI is letting down 1.8 billion jobs, then it is also making up 2.2 billion jobs as well. Like whatever it's doing, it's equalizing as well. And in our opinion, change is the only constant of this universe. You cannot be stagnant at one point, and if you're making sure that we're putting an end to all kind of AI generated artworks, it would be very, very problematic, as it is going to lead to a lot of human labor that will be employed to this thing. For example, if in commercial purposes you do want to employ a lot of artworks, and you do want a lot of artworks, and if you completely put an end to those kind of things, and you just make sure that people are doing it by hand and artists are being promoted, then human labor would be increased by a lot of folds, and we would not be able to develop at that fast rate that we are aiming to in the coming years. It's very important to make sure that along with making probably we do agree that it's putting down a little bit jobs as well, but at the same time it's equalizing it as well, and human labor is going to increase by a lot of folds. And what we actually aspire to become in the coming years as a country, if we'll put an end to all of this, we do agree that there should be strict laws and terms and conditions which should be applied in our country, which unfortunately isn't there in these years. It would be there in the coming years, but a complete ban wouldn't be the best thing that could be done.
I'd like to add that a famous person said that AI won't rule the world, but people who know AI would. Laws should be made such that users should be given informed consent before interacting with any of the chatbot and should be understanding its limitations and scopes. Also, users should have a control over over their data and should be given the ability to change or delete their information as per the data security. Just like how my friend Ashita said that AI is actually helping artists improve themselves in some or the other way. AI gives us a lot of assisting tools and drawing tools, and is broadening our horizon to create and to view art in a very different way, which we have never ever experienced before. So AI in the end is not very bad for us, but yes, we have to impose some strict laws, and we should never forget that it's still helping us in some or the other way.
This is the viewpoint of my friend. According to me,
Your voice is not clear.
I agree with the viewpoint of my friend. AI-generated art should not be banned outright. Instead, there should be discussions and regulations about such ethical issues related to AI. Like any other technology, AI has both positive as well as negative aspects. Banning AI-generated art would stifle innovation, and applying certain safeguards would be a right solution. Additionally, I want to add that people don't value art just for technique, but for emotional and conceptual perspective of the art. So that's all for our answer. Thank
Also
you.
would like to add as well that there is a very famous saying, just for example, it is
Your voice is not clear.
It has also been said for fire that fire is a very good servant, but it's a very bad master. Similarly, it's for AI as well. It's a very good servant, but a very bad master. And these days, if you put up, you'll also see that most of the graphic designers, most of the artists are using their tablets, more precisely iPads, for figuring out all the arts that they've been putting. So also the basic human labor, for example, making some basic art forms is what is deceased by AI these days, and now they're getting their works done more faster. So AI is not killing all their potentials that they hold. Instead, it is fostering them to perform the best of what they can, and it's instead assisting them. As I have said in my presentation as well, that we have read in Mahabharata that Krishna was always someone who was enabling. He was never fighting. He was just guiding the Arjuna in his battles. He was never fighting, but always guiding. Similarly, AI should always be the enabler, and it should never be the creator. That's all.
Thank you, Team B. Very well answered. Ma'am, if you have any query, you can ask.
I think I would say it was a good effort in addressing the problem and the dilemma at hand. And you have demonstrated good insight and problem solving skills. So, very good.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Now it's time for our third judge, Colonel Animesh Vats. Sir, I request you to pose your question to Team B.
I would have possibly taken it a step further from where my previous co-judge left, but largely the answers have already come out. My question was, when music is being reserved in form of remixed songs, it has only made the music richer. So why should we remain stuck with the archaic laws like intellectual property rights? Are we resisting change, which is actually inevitable? The deep fake, the economic frauds, of course, need to be curbed, and we need to have stricter laws. But as the art is concerned, art does not have any boundaries. Why should we prevent any change? That largely has already been answered. I guess I'll forgo my question then.
Thank you, sir. So, I can say that was a wonderful deliberation of thoughts, and I'm sure the judges will agree with me. Now, it's time to sum up our today's match. I'm sure both the teams are eager to know about the results, but we have to wait for a while. Before we compile the results, I would like to thank each one of you for making this event a success and sharing with us your findings and opinions today. I request all our esteemed judges to send the results in our judges WhatsApp group. Now we will take 15 minutes interview for the compilation of the results. Thank you, everyone. I request all the esteemed judges to share the results in the personal WhatsApp group of the coordinator or email of the coordinator. You can send the results on the personal WhatsApp number of the coordinator, or you can mail the results on the mail ID of the coordinator. Thank you, everyone.
Akshay Gunarjan. Huh? तो फायदा नहीं आया तो मौके पे सब गायब हो जाते हैं।
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for your patience. The road to success is steep and long, full of challenges where you must be strong. With each step forward, keep your vision clear. Success is the destination. Have no fear. I know you all are eagerly waiting for the results. Remember, dear participants, winning and losing doesn't matter. What matters is your participation. Before we announce the results, I want to acknowledge that everyone participated with full zeal and enthusiasm. And we really appreciate both the participating teams for their thought provoking session. Now, I request the secretary of the event, Mr. Sanjeev Kumar Sir, Principal APS Udhampur, to kindly announce the results. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Shreya. Hope I am audible.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Reena Bhalla, Chairperson, Education Committee. Judges, Mrs. Mandvi Tripathi, Mrs. Sarmistha Basu, and Colonel Animesh Vats, Principals of Northern Command, teachers, and my dear students. I must say, as the secretary of this event, it was really wonderful listening both the team. So first of all, I compliment both Rakhmuthi and Raiwala for their wonderful performance and the thought process they have brought with respect to environment issues and the other topic which was given, intellectual property. It was really very nice. So both the team deserve applause, and you both are the winner from my side. But you will understand, one has to win and lose in a competition. So I have to go with the judges, what they have given me the score, and accordingly I will announce the result. Let me go with the score first. APS Raiwala has scored 153.5 out of 190, and APS Rakhmuthi had scored 158 out of 190. That clearly indicates APS Rakhmuthi is the winner for today's event. Congratulations, APS Rakhmuthi, and Raiwala, don't lose your heart. There is always a next time. Prepare for the next ethics ball, and hopefully you will come back strongly. Thank you, all of you, and congratulations to both the teams, especially the winning team. Thank you from my side.
Thank you so much, sir. Heartiest congratulations to the students, staff, and the principal of APS Rakhmuthi. Congratulations to the team APS Raiwala also for your participation. And dear students, think of every obstacle as an opportunity to learn and grow. Always believe in yourself, your abilities, and your dreams. Now, I would like to take a moment to thank all our distinguished judges who took out time from their busy schedules and grace us with their benevolent presence. Your insights and expertise made a significant impact, and we are grateful for your valuable contributions. Thank you, esteemed judges. I wish APS Rakhmuthi very best for the upcoming events. Thank you, everyone. With this, we will end the session. Have a blissful day ahead. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.